the Chicago Sun-Times, but it doesn't work.
We go in, and don't get me wrong, you know, it is a little embarrassing to go in and realize you're the only people that aren't a couple.
You're the only guys in there that aren't attached to a female.
Yeah, I mean, look, we just love movies, you know, and if a rom-com, and I mean, there's a lot of rom-coms I've really liked, but if like a rom-com's the only one that I want to see, I'm gonna go see it.
Shit, son, I'd have gone to Twilight with you if you had any interest in going.
I've watched all three, but I don't support them with money.
Don't support them financially. Fair enough.
Can't do it. Can't bring myself to do it.
And you know what? We're in Canada, so it's not illegal.
Yeah. Ha! Neener. Yeah, Going the Distance. Yeah, rom-com. Justin Long. Who was the girl? Was it Drew Barrymore in it? Yeah, okay. Just a movie that ended up being pretty touching. I won't go too far into why it was especially touching to me, but you know I told you afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a movie that kind of spoke to me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it was just good at what it did. You know, it had the sad moment. It had some humor. It was just a good movie.
Yeah. And that was one that was, you know, fairly high up on my list too. That a movie that I thought was just going to be sort of I just thought it was going to be there, and it ended up being really, really good, really quality watch. Might even make my list.
All props to Justin Long and Drew Barrymore for having
absolutely
for having chemistry, which is the most important part of a rom-com.
Well, you know, there you go. It's kind of funny to watch romantic comedies where the two people have absolutely no chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah. Just like a real relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of yours.
Ouch.
Ooh, that's painful. We're throwing bricks of fire in these videos. But yeah, Going the Distance was fairly high up on my list too. Not quite as high up as the one that I'm going to be giving the award to, Easy A. Easy A stars Emma Stone. Sort of a modern retelling of The Scarlet Letter, I guess it was. Honestly, here's the deal.
Here's how it is.
Here's how it is. When I started watching the trailer, like the trailer got pretty good saturation. It was on.
Oh yeah.
It was attached to most. Excuse me again. Wow. Mr. McYanny pants here at 20 to 8 in the evening. It was, you know, the trailer for the movie was attached to quite a few movies that were upcoming. And, you know, the more I watched the trailer, the more annoyed I got with the movie. Because what seemed like it was the movie's big payoff line, which was a line about Tom Cruise, which if you've seen the trailer, you know which one I'm talking about. What wasn't getting any laughs. It didn't make me laugh once. So I was sitting here thinking, you know what, that movie's going to be an abortion. And we were kind of bopping the idea back and forth at the time, I think, of doing the year in review. So we thought, hey, this is going to... I think that was around that time.
Well, I actually wanted to see the movie more than he did.
All right. Well, fair enough.
I kind of dragged you that one. That was one of the few where it was like... I mean, not dragged.
Right.
Because you're pretty much down with seeing whatever. But
kicking and screaming.
There's more of one of those things where I was like, man, I want to see it. Like, well, I'm not really feeling it, but I'll go see a movie.
Right, fair enough.
I was like, well, you're feeling it now. Bitch.
Yeah. But we ended up going and seeing it, and honestly, absolutely fell in love with the movie. I thought the movie was fantastic. You know, I thought Emma Stone played a great character, and I thought there was a ton of chemistry between her and pretty much everybody else that was on on staff on the movie. Always nice to see Lisa Kudrow, because Lisa Kudrow was in it as well. Yeah. Surprisingly enough, Amanda Bynes played a really interesting... a character that was it's difficult to play. Unless you're like that character is. But, yeah, just a movie I absolutely adored. And I did not think I would be anywhere near the level of enjoyment on that movie that I ended up getting. It was a total shock.
Easy A sucked. No, I liked it. I think it's a bit of a spoiler, but I don't even think it's on my top 20. Just because it might be. It might still be. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's worthy of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a John Hughes movie, pretty much.
Yeah, it is.
It's in that kind of vein. It's like, and that's like the highest praise you can give a teen comedy.
That's true.
So, I mean, there you go. I threw it out there. You would be happy.
Yeah.
I think, with that movie. And
that's a nice analogy, actually.
And it's Harmony's, like, favorite movie of the year. Shouting out the woman.
Yeah.
She won't watch this.
Shouting out the lady friend. Well, you might have to make her watch this one.
Yeah.
This is like, yo, you're mentioned in this video.
She's lovely. Okay.
All right. So, that was our award for I Can't Believe I Love This Movie. He gives it to Going the Distance. I give it to Easy A. 2 romantic comedies. Chick flicks. We are secure. We are men. We are
taking off my shirt.
Riff it like Hulk Hogan. Now we do the other end of the spectrum there. I Can't Believe I Hated This Movie.
Or dislike.
Or disliked, yeah.
I'm only saying that because I don't actually hate this movie. I just mildly dislike it.
Okay, fair enough.
Very mildly dislike it, but it's like I could have picked a movie that was on my worst movie list.
Right.
Because we're doing like 10 of them. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to pick the same movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think this one's more fitting now that I think about it. Mine is Jonah Hex.
Which I know it hurts because it's a comic book.
It's a comic book movie.
And you never want to do that to a comic book movie.
Western comic book movie. It just didn't do it for me. It was like I said, mild dislike. I enjoyed parts of it. But it was just not as exciting, as action-filled, as cool, as badass as I thought. Mm. And I really went into it thinking this might be something really fun. And
the trailer kind of portrayed it that way, too.
Yeah, and it had its moments. But ultimately, can't believe I mildly dislike.
Yeah.
It was, like, very close to a recommendation, but at the same time, I expected at least, like, a 70. I expect it to be very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I expected that out of Jonah Hex, too. It's a very, 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 very mild recommend for me. If for no other reason than if you want to see Megan Fox in a corset for an hour and a half, this is probably a good bet. Because that's what she gives you. She doesn't exactly have to play much of an involved character. She just has to look pretty in a corset and fire a 6-shooter, which she basically succeeds at. Yeah. I expected a bit more from it too, but not as much as I expected from the one that I'm giving it to. The one that I'm giving it to, unlike this guy, is actually on my worst movies list. Spoiler. And here's why. Well, first of all, I'm giving it to Vampires Suck.
Because they do.
Well, they do. But here's why. The reason that I hated this movie, and that I can't believe I hated it, because I went into this movie not expecting much, because I'm not a huge fan of, like, the date movie, disaster movie, epic movie, and these are the same guys that do these spoof movies. But I thought, you know what, even though I'm not a huge fan, you're making fun of Twilight. How easy is that? It's simple. Like, you can do it in your sleep. You could be snoring, vampires sparkle. You know what I mean? It's real easy to make fun of Twilight. It's like breathing. And I hated this movie because they fucked it up. When you have source material like Twilight that's so easy to make fun of, and you screw it up, and you're not funny, like your jokes are way too obvious, you're not funny, that's unforgivable for me. And like I say, I expected to enjoy it at least on that lowest level of, like, you know what, at least you're